We start with real estate. While real estate is one of the main business principles, practices, assets that we need to get more familiar with, is because real estate runs the world. This corner we're at right now is what?
Real estate.
If we did it across the street in the park, what was that?
Real estate.
If we did it downtown at the hotel, what was that?
Real estate.
If we did it at the community center, what was that?
Real estate.
At the local high school, what was that?
Real estate.
The hospital you were born in was what?
Real estate.
Sit down.
Everywhere.
We do this survey every class, and it's never our intention to embarrass nobody because we all family, we love y'all, we ain't trying to embarrass nobody, but I want everybody to be honest. I want everybody to be honest. By show of hands right now, who here lives somewhere?
Everybody. Be honest.
This is why real estate has all the power. Every product that we have in our hands, that phone you got in your hand, that plastic it was made from, came from plants. Plants came from what?
Real estate.
Land, real estate. Every metal, every gold, the paper, everything that we have and touch, the earth is one big ball of real estate. Whoever owns the most land wins. Whoever knows how to own the most land wins. We haven't even gone past that part, the how-to. So we can't even acquire. So one of the first functions right now, 10% of the American population own 88% of all the real estate.
Whoa.
10% of the American population own 88% of the real estate. That means the other 90% are the customers to the 10%. They are the tenants, the customers. Why we know real estate makes the most sense for our families and why you have to be intentional to learn it. All we're doing at the Jay-Morrison Academy is giving you the relatable, translatable curriculum for you to be able to learn this in the easiest of ways and learn it from people that have done it in real life at the highest level. Why we know this makes sense is because I can draw a house here. This house can be a building, it can be a hotel, it could be an apartment complex. But why real estate makes the most sense for us is because by owning real estate, even starting with the roof over your head, I got a book there called Lord of My Land, 5 Steps to Home Ownership. You want to know how to buy your first house? I spell it out in 5 simple steps. Fighting the fear, getting pre-approved, evaluating your deal, putting in your offer, closing your deal, managing your deal. But why this makes so much sense is because over time, just by living somewhere, I'm not talking about HGTV, flip this house. I'm talking about over time, just by living somewhere, properties over time, because of supply and demand, appreciate in value. That appreciation then creates what's called equity. Equity is, for those taking notes, equity is the difference between what you owe on a property and what it's worth. If you owe 0 on a property and it's worth $200,000, you got $200,000 in equity. If you owe the bank or a mortgage company or private lender or a grant, if you owe $100,000 on a property and it's worth $200,000, you have $100,000 in equity. Equity is the difference between what you owe on a property and what it's worth. That equity, though, is real value for you to be able to tap into later and leverage it through refinances, home equity lines of credit, home equity loans. You can tap into this equity tax-free and then use this equity to go buy more real estate and more assets. All by just doing what you were doing anyway and living somewhere. Outside of that equity in a property and appreciation, if you begin to rent the properties, you buy a multifamily, 4-family, 2-family, or a single family, then move out to another unit. You can keep that single family or multifamily and begin to get passive income or rental income. You can live in one unit, rent the other 3 out, live for free, or get paid while you live and while it appreciates in value. and you get what we call rental income and cash flow. Passive income, residual income. These are all the assets we're talking about. The abundance is coming, step by step. Then on top of the cash flow, the equity, the appreciation, by owning a real estate asset, you then have power and control. You own the air rights above the real estate, the right to build up on the asset and create more units. You own the mineral rights below the real estate and the land around it. The right to rent your lot out for parking, the right to farm on it, the right to dig on it. So by owning the real estate, the land, you got the power and control, the air rights, the mineral rights, the equity appreciation, the cash flow, residual income. And then, if that wasn't good enough, you then have many, many, many tax advantages from owning real estate. You can write off certain closing costs when you close your deal. The interest on your mortgage you can write off at times. You can depreciate the whole value of the asset over 27 and a half years. You can depreciate all the personal tangible property in the asset. Anything that you take off with a screwdriver or a hammer in a full-time investment property, you can depreciate from your earned income. Meaning that if you made $70,000 this year, but you owned a real estate asset and all the value of the personal tangible property inside, the cabinets, the hot water heater, the boilers, the sinks, the doors. If all those things were worth $20,000 and you made $70,000 this year, you can take that depreciation off your earned income of $70,000, and now instead of paying taxes on $70,000, you're paying taxes on $50,000 now. Therefore, retaining more cash and money for your heirs. All through one vehicle. And we all agree we had to live somewhere anyway. And I know here in St. Louis, you guys have innovative aldermen and councilmen and wardmen and whatever y'all call them here. Aldermen, right? I said it. But you have folks that are implementing programs and policies for dollar properties and other kinds of opportunities to get into real estate assets. But then we're not intentional about learning how to put ourselves in position. Everybody say in position. In position. That's all it boils down to. Preparation plus opportunity equals success. If you don't put yourself in position because you're informed, you're going to have opportunities fly by you that could have been wealth and legacy and assets and abundance for your heirs, but it flew by you because you ain't know no better. Because you don't know enough about enough. You don't know how to evaluate a good deal when you do see it. Because you're not putting yourself in position. So we know that real estate makes sense from these perspectives plus more.